Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 61 of the show. Very excited to be here. Very excited to not see you, I guess, because I can't see you, but I hope you're excited to see me. You should be excited to hear from Manon Mathews, the guest for this week. I just met Manon a couple of weeks ago when I was out in Nashville doing a show with JP. She is a hilarious comedian, a brilliant student of life, and just overall a happy, positive person. I love hanging with Manon. We love making stuff. We have a bunch of stuff we're going to put out. It's a good time. We're having fun being friends. It's a good time. I met Manon when I was with JP in Nashville, hanging out with JP. Met Nicole Arbor out there for the first time. Also a wonderful, funny, fun friend. And we got into it on this episode. A lot of laughs, a lot of stories, a couple of almost tears. And man, get ready for a fun conversation. I really hope you guys like this. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Blue Blocks, my favorite blue light blocking glasses. I wear them every night and they help me sleep, and I really like them, and I think you will too. Go to blueblocks.com/Brent for 15% off. Also brought to you by Cognibiotics, my favorite supplement company. Bioptimizers put out this product called Cognibiotics. It's like a blend of herbs and different types of nootropics that have an effect on your cognitive performance. You know, it's not going to make you Bradley Cooper and Limitless, but maybe. I started using Cognibiotics as part of my other things that I do for my daily health routine, and I do notice a difference. Highly recommend Cognibiotics.com/Brent for 10% off, plus a free book that's packed with a bunch of awesome health and nutrition info and scientific backed research on how to optimize your overall health. So, that being said, you can also optimize your overall health with the following conversation that I had with my good friend, Manon Mathews. Tight, dude. I love Taylor Swift.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in. That's the song.
That's pretty good. Have you done a Taylor Swift impression?
No? Because she has blonde hair, so I assume that I have to stay in alignment with her.
It's not like skin color.
Yeah, I could just put a blonde wig.
Yeah, you could do a blonde wig, you know?
God, I limit myself, man.
That's a limiting belief. That's a limiting belief. I can't do it, Tony.
That's a limiting belief. Sometimes when you think that you're not blonde, that just means you gotta just believe that you're blonde. What? Be outside the box.
I mean, I should be doing Tony Robbins.
You could be doing Tony Robbins. Austin Nasso does a phenomenal
Do you do
Tony
women
Robbins.
impressions? Probably not.
No. You know, when I was at Groundlings, they kind of drilled it into my head to never do woman impressions if you're a man.
Same. They also said, don't do kids, but I do kids. Oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
You know what I mean.
Sure.
Don't impersonate
Yeah.
children.
Yes.
Because it's just stupid and not funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you haven't seen me impersonate an
You
8-year-old.
don't know me. Yeah.
But I get that. I remember that and I think they limited me. I think it's their fault.
There's a limiting belief.
Oh, we both did Groundlings.
We both did Groundlings. Groundlings was... I'm glad I did it. I don't know if I would recommend it for everybody.
Well, it depends. If you do characters and you like doing impressions and you really want strict energy,
then
strict
do
energy.
Groundlings. If you're okay, if you've ever been an athlete, you'll probably be okay.
Like if you went to Yale, do Groundlings. But if you went to community college, like I did, do Groundlings.
Right. And if you've ever been told to run 10 miles with no shoes by your high school basketball coach, do Groundlings. Okay?
If you ever got made fun of having too hairy of arms as you're a young middle schooler, do Groundlings.
If you've ever been bullied in junior high and the kid sitting behind you had a little letter opener, like an envelope opener, and he was just kind of stabbing you in the back throughout class, like little stabs, not the ones enough to make you bleed, but like enough to like give you a bunch of little tiny bruises on your back, do Groundlings.
I want to just keep going, but I feel like that'll take up the whole podcast. Did you ever do any other improv schools?
Yeah, UCB.
Nice. They'll let you fly with anything.
Oh yeah.
Talk gibberish the whole scene.
Thank you for being here. We got your check. It cleared. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
You should really do the Herald team. I'm in level 1.
Dude, UCB, they're so nice. I mean, they're all nice except for most of the directors at Groundlings and the people that work there. But UCB was fun. UCB was my first thing I ever did.
Yeah, your first intro is always the best. Mine was Second City, and
that's cool.
Oh my God, every teacher was hilarious, friendly. Like, I just feel like it was just a beautiful.
And they're more sketch oriented.
Yeah, I mean,
too,
you can
right?
do characters and stuff, but yeah, they're more like satire and sketch. But in the beginning, it's just fun to play those games.
Did you start doing comedy stuff in LA, or did you start?
Yeah, because I'm born here, so I only
that's right.
had
Gross.
LA around.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, born and raised right in LA, right in Sherman Oaks, and then Calabasas. I always want to say Calabacklist because it is, but I feel like nowadays you can't say anything.
Blacklist.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
there was
funny.
Like 4
yeah,
black
sure.
people.
Sure.
They're all wonderful.
Take that clip out
Let's
of context and
cut
post
that.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was and then I went to community college to do film school. So I went to
Santa Barbara City.
Santa Barbara City.
Santa Black
And then
City. Yep.
and then I transferred to Northridge to do film pro, and they were like, "You still need to take Chicano studies and anthropology." And I said,
In order to do film,
"I'm gonna
as
do
one
it."
does.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
you have to know.
I mean, if you haven't taken
ins and
Chicano
outs.
studies, how will you know how to make a movie?
Yeah, you have to know the ins and outs of anthropology in order to like press record and know what a good photo looks like, or like a good picture lock.
I mean, you can't direct a scene unless you know ancient holistic Middle Eastern medicine.
No. And you wouldn't want to watch that scene. Right. It'll be...
Because you could tell, this person doesn't know his natural herbs and remedies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went for a week, and then I called my dad. I like left the class, and I was like, I want to do improv. And he's like, all right.
Really?
He's like, all right, sick.
Was there any improv at school, like on campus or anything? Or electives or like
I mean, in
clubs?
Santa Barbara, I took like acting and like a scene class or something. And I took media studies. I did TV production.
That's what my degree was.
What?
It was film and media studies
That
at
makes
UC
sense.
Santa Barbara. And it was all like, I mean, the whole UC system is all research based, right? So I never touched a light. I didn't touch a camera. You like that, Mike?
Like since?
Yeah.
Not really like. Wait, you haven't touched the lights? Wait.
No, I just... No, I have touched many lights in my life.
Nice.
But when... Nice. When I was at UC Santa Barbara, there was one production class, and it was full all the time, so you couldn't take it. So I was learning about like propaganda films in the 20s and like how the German film community blossomed in the 50s and like boring shit like that. So all the production hands-on stuff I did out of class on like student projects or like shooting music videos for local rappers. That's really how it came up. Shooting music videos for Doja.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like
that's my boy, Doja.
Doja.
That's his rap name.
Okay, what does he do?
He's a rapper.
What song does he sing? Or the rap?
Are you a connoisseur of local underground Santa Barbara rap music?
Not at all.
If you were, you'd know him. Okay. So
that's my boy. I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know Doja?
No.
Do you know Slander?
No.
You ain't never heard of Slander?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
When I was in my teens, I shot music videos for young girls for their bat mitzvah.
What?
Yeah, so like
they would make a song?
No.
Okay.
No. Let's not get carried away. They would pick a singer like Britney Spears or something at that time and lip sync in like different locations, and I would edit it together so they would feel like a pop star at their bat mitzvah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And I made some money doing it.
And you must have made some money.
The fact that you shot, like, I feel like we have because I went to CC Santa Barbara, you went to UC Santa Barbara. We're almost the same age.
Yeah.
We both did groundlings.
Yeah.
Did you also date older men?
I did. I did. Yep. There was Paul.
Yeah, there's a gap, right? Like they put music on and you're like, ugh, this is so
I guess I'm going to have sex in Montecito tonight.
There's a lot of
very
similarities.
parallel lives we've lived.
Are your parents still together?
Nope.
Same.
Cool.
When did they?
I think it was like 4 or 5.
Oh, no.
No.
I was 18.
You were 18?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really
so they
late in
waited
the
for you
game.
to be an adult.
Yeah.
They said, let's not break this child.
Yeah, I think that was more my mom's vision. And we were watching American Idol, and my dad he gets angry during the the commercials.
And your mom was like, that's it?
I know I'm
Can't
sure it
take
was a
this.
build, but she
Sure.
was just like, it was just his temperament that she was like, I've hit my, and I was like, okay, yeah, go. I didn't realize that like later I'd be processing it like 5 years later, like, oh, I have no home.
Did it feel like up until 18, were there years where you felt like things were on the rocks, or did they kind of keep it hidden?
No, they got along fine. I mean, my dad had some energy and my mom didn't really express herself. So I knew that like there was some stuff that like probably wasn't the best, but it wasn't, I thought they'd be together forever.
Yeah.
You know, people
Yeah.
that are married 23 years, it's just usually
Yeah.
like, why would you even?
Yeah, why stop now?
Yeah.
But I do think that's kind of cool to call it off after so long, because that means you're really being true to yourself and you're not like forcing yourself to stay and try to make something work that you
True.
just don't love anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking as
she
a
regrets
divorced
it,
man.
yeah. Are you divorced?
No.
No, I am.
Oh, that's right.
I'm divorced.
How fun is that?
It's interesting. I don't know if it's fun.
Wouldn't quite call it fun.
It's definitely not what I thought.
has its
I
moments.
didn't think I'd be like this age being divorced. I never thought I'd
Right.
be like, I'm a divorcee. What? What are you talking about? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
I'm a kid.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Maybe I'm
How
not a
old were
kid.
you when you got married?
30.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
No. 30.
Was it quick, the relationship prior to the marriage?
Yeah, we got engaged after 4 months and then got married
Wow.
a year later.
Whoa.
We got married a year after we got engaged, about.
4
Yeah.
months. That is very fast.
Yeah, it didn't feel fast. It was interesting because it's not like I was like 20 and I was like, we're 4 months. I thought, I knew it the minute I saw him that he
Yeah.
would be the man I married.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
not the man that you
Stay with.
stay with.
Stay
right.
married.
right.
I should have listened and it would have been, that's the man I'm going to marry for 5 months.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Are you guys still friends? Did it end
No.
like, oh, this was fun?
It's a
but-
horrible. Remember I gave you my book?
Yeah,
It's all in,
I
I mean,
haven't
there's
read
a
it
chap.
yet.
No, you haven't read it yet in the
Yeah.
last 5 minutes? It's okay. Okay, now I know where your priorities are. I met him online on the
Which app?
Instagram.
Ooh. Who DM'd first?
Well, I went to slide into his DMs and saw that he had already DM'd me 18 months before.
What?
Yeah.
18 months?
Yes.
What did that one say?
I had just
Do you
moved
remember?
into New York. Oh, I remember everything.
Okay.
I just moved to New York and I was there for 3 months and I was moving into a new apartment because I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to stay in New York because I was like, well, I don't know. I'm just going to commit to 3 months. And so then after 3 months, I was like, I'm obsessed. I need to like sign a lease. And so I remember moving in. And the day I moved in was the day I found him online. And it said that he lived in Australia, but he was making videos with a friend of mine. And I was like, I just like scrolled down. I was like, oh my God, his videos are funny. And he seems so familiar. Like, who is this person? I know him. Like, my soul knows him. I'm going to DM him, which is not usual. Like, I DM people now, but like back then I was like scared of it or whatever. And I was like, he messaged me. And it said, you shine unlike any other human I've seen in a very long time. I'm happy to see how you're channeling your light. And I was like, and I wrote to him, and that night we FaceTimed, and he popped on my FaceTime, and I'm like, oh, and I felt sad. I was like, no, he's in LA right now visiting, and I'm in New York, and I felt like this pain, like, no, we're apart. It was very, very crazy and or surreal or whatever. And then we FaceTimed, and I was like, oh, that's the man I'm going to marry. We FaceTimed for 2 hours, and then we FaceTimed every day for about 6 days, and then he flew from LA to New York to meet me in person, and we met in Madison Square Park and held each other and cried, and he said, where have you been?
No way.
I said, I've been looking everywhere for you. We spent the week together, and then we had a long distance relationship, and then after 4 months we got engaged in Australia, where I met his family, and everybody was like, we just love him, man, and he's your perfect match. Like, he's just this warm, sweet, kind.
Everybody in your life was saying this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he met my mom for coffee before he met me, because she was she was in LA, and
that's
she's
cool.
like, I was like, my husband's gonna come stay with me, because I told them, and
Wow.
and keep in mind, I'm not someone has ever said that before.
Yeah.
Like, I've not really thought about marriage in my 20s. I was just very like, yeah, we'll date, we'll see how it goes. But when I met this person, I was like, oh, that's my husband. And so I told my mom that my husband's gonna come stay with me, and she was like, should I meet him first? And I was like, no. And I told him that she had said that, and he goes, oh, I'd love to. And they had a 2-hour coffee before he even met me in person.
Wow.
So like it gave validity to like how serious he was as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't really, that's unusual, I think.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is unusual, but it's what do you think it was that caused that energy when you guys first met? Like when that first spark and how you ran into each other's arms. How does that come from? Where does that come from with two people that are basically strangers?
I mean, I have a joke, but I think I'm going to say that what I think it comes from. I have different views of it now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I would just say, you know, I believe in past lives. I believe that we've had many lives, and I just recognized his soul, and he was open enough, and I was open enough to say yes without fear, you know?
Yeah.
And also he looked like Ewan McGregor, who imprinted on me with Moulin Rouge when I was 10.
Amazing.
So my unconscious was like, I already love you. Like,
yeah.
And I didn't know why, but I
Write
later
me a
was like,
song.
this is weird. Like, why did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love that movie. So.
Did he?
But he's nothing like Ewan, by the way.
thank
Very
you
different.
for clearing
Just so
that.
you know.
Very
You know, I don't want you to get your hopes up if you ever cross paths with.
So he DMs you, and 18 months go by before you
Even see
recognize his existence.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you ever ask him, like, during those 18 months, did you think about me? Were you just living your life? Were you hoping?
No, he just kind of mentioned that, like, you know, I saw that you were, you know, things were shifting in your life. You had, like, your light came on, and I just kind of took a step back, and I just, you know, would check in and see how but I never really followed you. And I was just like, okay. He seemed pretty distant about it. He knew who I was, but he wasn't really, like, watching me every day.
Yeah. It's so wild that you knew him for 4 months, you get married, you're together for 5-ish, and then the divorce?
No, we got married. So we lived in New York for a while. I don't know why I said 5 months. I was just kind of trying to come up with a quick joke. But we lived in New York for a while. Then we moved over back to LA in 2019. So we met in 2017. We moved. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we moved back to LA in 2019 to plan the wedding. And then we had the wedding. And it was a month later that actually I just bought us a house on Weddington 5 days before the wedding.
Whoa.
And then we had our families gather for like the reception or the rehearsal dinner, the night before the wedding in the new house. And it was just really like symbolic. And we had the wedding of our dreams. It was beautiful. My dreams, I should say. And then a month later, I get the wedding photos, and they're gorgeous, like out of a magazine, just beautiful. And then my best friend wants to take me out to coffee, which I thought was very strange, with his girlfriend, and they sit me down, and they both grab my arm, and they're like, what we're about to tell you, just know that we're going to be here for you along the way. And I was like, I thought they were going to tell me that he died, or that like somebody passed away. Like the feeling that rushed through me when they both
felt it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty powerful and intense. And I'm like, just tell me. And basically they said that they received a message from this woman who had been messaging with my husband for weeks, and he was sending her nude videos, nude photos, messaging her, you're my true queen, Manon's nothing, she's useless, she's not sexy, she's boring, I won't be with her forever, that's for sure.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm reading this, and I see, you know, when you know a way the person writes?
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that's that. Not only is it's his Instagram and it's his picture and everything,
yeah.
but I'm
like,
it's
the style of the text. And
and it's him in the videos, the nude video. Like,
I guess that's
with my name tattooed on.
I mean, visual effects are pretty good these days, so he could have gotten out of that one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But if he's spelling you with just a U, that's how you know it's
yeah,
him.
except it wasn't. He never does that.
Okay.
Well. But he has my name tattooed on his chest, Manon, right across his
really?
heart, right across his heart. He didn't tell me he was doing that. He came out of the shower one time in New York, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my name. If anyone else did this would be really weird, but you're my person for the rest. So like, actually, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But so I would see that name in the videos of him sending to other women, and
women plural.
Well, I later found out. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
He was full Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Was he?
I guess.
Was he? Was it just? Not that this makes a difference. I'm just curious. Was it just online messaging, or were there in-person?
I don't know.
Things?
I never found out about any in-person things. So that's why, like, reading those, I felt like you just told me that we're actually all
this is
Fox
feels
people.
like a lie.
Like I couldn't process it, so I went home and I like got my keys, put it in my thing. I packed a little bag because he wasn't home yet. I was like, just because at this point I'm like, who did I marry?
Yeah.
Because I'm with this person every day.
Yeah.
We were together every day.
Yeah.
So when was he like? other than when he would take hour-long showers. And I always thought he's taking some really long showers, but you know.
You think he was sending stuff during
that's the only time he had.
Oh my God, dude.
And then he would come lay and be the cutest thing ever with me in bed. And like, I was shocked.
That is so wild.
It was
Your
pretty
world
horrific.
flipped upside down.
Everything. I just bought us a house. I just had the wedding. He invited his whole family over from Australia and Scotland and
Holy
my
shit.
family and my dad. Like,
what do you do? You pack a bag because the first instinct is to remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I confronted him first. I said,
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because I couldn't just leave. I was just like, I have to see what he has to say about
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he broke down and completely admitted all of it and just said, I have a problem, you know?
Yeah.
And I would never do this in person, but I have a problem. And I was like, I understand that. And why did you have to throw me under the bus? Like that's the
to
part.
To me, that's the weirdest part because there's something, again, not excusing behavior. There is like a fetish probably for all that stuff. You know what I mean?
And Instagram doesn't make it any easier. He had acquired, 60,000 followers, maybe more from just being with me. And I'm sure he was getting attention from women.
Yeah.
So like, I know that. And that's what I thought. I was like, you know what? Like,
the DMing thing is what I'm talking about. Like the part where he throws you under the bus and includes your name and stuff. That's like sick.
Yeah,
there's no fetish for that.
No,
That's just gross.
That's
the fetish part where maybe you see someone, you get some help. It's maybe like a weird sex addiction type of thing adjacent. Maybe that.
Yeah, I'm glad you and I are not in a relationship.
I don't know. I mean, I just think like it's disgusting and gross but a lot of people suffer from it. For sure grounds for splitting.
Yeah. But for me, it wouldn't. I'm sure I could have worked through it to be like, I got.
It's work throughable.
Yes,
potentially.
Yes.
Depending on what it is, of course, and if it's graphic.
Yeah, for
or
some
gross.
people it's not. For some people it is.
Yeah.
And I was willing to,
But the personal stuff.
That part really. That's what messed me up. I was like, how could you? Not only are you telling this woman you love her and that she's your true queen and all of these things that you once told me.
Yeah.
But you're telling her, like, you're insulting me to her. Like, that's sick to me. That's you've crossed the line. You're so far beyond the line that you're willing to go to any length to just keep this woman's attention. And that's kind of what he said. It was like, I felt really small. I've never felt enough for you. And it was my only way of making you small by making myself feel bigger, and I'll never do it again, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
It was horrible. And we didn't see each other for a month because I kicked him out or whatever. And then we went to 3 months of therapy because I was like, I married the man.
Yeah.
Let me give it my all. And then
who'd you see? Dr. Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was recorded. If you can find it on
the
website, it's really good. And after at the end of 2019, December, we kind of like just realized, I realized, I should say, like, I didn't see the behavior changing.
Yeah. I
didn't see what I needed to move forward.
Yeah.
Because you can't, it was good. And I'm glad we did it because I was able to walk away being like, okay, I gave it everything.
Yeah. You gave it effort. You put in effort. You put in time and energy.
That being said, you can't build on something that's that broken that soon. If it had been 10 years in and we had kids and it was like, wow, I just finally I slipped.
Right.
We just why you're doing this soon?
Yeah,
this is too soon. We're still in our
the whole relationship to me feels like a 20-year relationship condensed into whatever it ended up being, 2-ish years or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just because of the speed of everything. This feels like a whole roller coaster.
Yeah. And I've had to look at that. I've had to look at my part and go, you know what? I didn't vet enough. I grew up in a very trusting household. I trusted the man because my book came out.
Yeah.
Right? And when my book came out, there's a little chapter. The book's not about that. The book's about my life. And there's a chapter in it where I talk about this. And I don't throw him under the bus or anything. I mean, I kind of share a little bit what he did, but I hold back in consideration because I still cared about his feelings or whatever.
Yeah, you don't call him worthless in the book?
No.
Right. Good.
No, I say he's just hurt. Hurt people.
Yeah.
And he's in pain. And that's what I was able to recognize when he did what he did, was that he was in more pain than I knew. Yeah. And instead of, bashing him and taking it personally and me writing off men and that all men are cheaters or whatever, which was a lot of people do that. They generalize. It's no, he was in pain and I'm going to keep my heart open and I'm going to send him love from afar. And I'm going to move forward with my heart open because it would be a shame for me to close off because he's in pain.
Right.
But also, when that book came out, I got many messages from many women that regretted not coming forward. That said,
about him?
Yeah. One of which. So
that hurt more, or did that help for you personally?
I don't know. It's not fun.
Yeah.
You know, like some of them were saying that he was doing it the whole relationship, whereas I thought, I told myself it just was this
Maybe
one
it was
person.
a window. Yeah.
But he was doing it through therapy, and he was doing it from the beginning of our relationship on and off. And, you know, I think he really tried. I don't know, but it didn't feel good, but it made my decision of leaving the relationship and divorcing him feel more like, no, this is absolutely the right thing, because I can't change him, and I don't want to, and I don't want to put that effort. Like, I just want to trust someone and be connected in that way.
Let me ask you this: when something like this happens in your life, in anybody's life, people tend to go two different ways. There's probably more ways, but from my perspective, people go two different ways. One, they live with this sense of a hypothetical what could have been, and they always have a regret, and they're always thinking about it, and they're always, anytime they do think about it, they think, oh, I wish that would have worked out. What could we be now? Man, I'm so bummed that ended. That sucks. I can't believe, well, I guess I just got to like push through this. But there's always a sense of like a what if, why did this happen? And then on the other hand, there's like I'm going to force myself to learn from this experience and grow and treat it as a positive, even though it was such a negative trauma. I'm going to try to use it for my own personal evolution and benefit. No matter how negative it was, I'm going to be grateful that this experience happened. Have you ever thought of that when it comes to these traumatic things?
I think that's why I did the therapy, because had I just said, oh, no, right when that first thing happened, I think I would have had the regret of like, well, what if I left a sick man and maybe he just needed my help and maybe we could have been something. But the therapy is what really like helped me heal those parts and see who he really was and see where he really came from and see how much, you know, even during that, like I felt so at peace. I kept getting signs too, like weird signs from people that were like reaching out saying they saw him do this, and like, and I was like, okay, because I remember being like, I'm really struggling with this decision because I love this man obviously enough to marry him. That I don't take marriage lightly. Yeah. So I really struggled, but I feel like I did at the end of the day, gave it everything to where I could walk away without going, oh, well, what if? I don't have that what if, because I know. You did the what if. I did the what if. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so now I have this story that I feel like changed my whole life. Like I feel like it's completely made me so much stronger, because I'm like, oh, I got through that. What else could I get through? Right. You know, because I thought like it was rough, but I feel like now, like in any new relationship that I'm in or will be in, not only will I vet the person, there's no rush. I can take my time. More will be revealed. The person's true character will always show forward. Like, listen to your body. That was a huge one. There was times where my body would close off to him and I thought it was my fault. Like maybe I'm just not accepting of this type of love. Maybe I don't feel worthy. But I think my body knew that there was some lie in the space. Yeah. Because the body doesn't lie and the energy doesn't lie. Yeah. People lie. And energy is so powerful that your body can sense. It's so much smarter than our mind. But his words were so powerful that I believed his words sometimes over my own body. Being like, hold on, let me sit with this and get back to you. I would always just be like, you know, people pleasing and wanting to make things not confrontational. And, you know, he's saying all the right things. So I'm going to move forward with what he's saying rather than what's his action and all these things, you know, because he said. Yeah. Because you don't want to go against what you think is the right thing. You don't want to like introduce some like challenge into the relationship. You don't want to challenge your own comfort maybe. Yeah. You know? No, not at all. I don't want discord. I don't want conflict. I want that things were going so well. I don't want to mess it up with my own issues. Yeah. And, you know, for every future relationship, what's great is now you've learned that all you need to do is create a fake Instagram account. Yeah, and check their phone. DMing that guy and just see what he says back. Hey, do you have a girlfriend? Hey, are you single? Oh, my God, you're so cute. You know, that's never even occurred to me. I'm not even kidding. I have no fake accounts. Really? Really?
I have.
That's how
one.
behind I am.
Yeah, I have one. The name is a guy I went to high school with who got chosen for the basketball team the year I got cut in 9th grade. Yeah, so I use his name anytime I'm creating a fake person.
That's great.
Because, fuck that guy.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Screw him.
I'm very sick in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So
you have to be funny, I think.
Yeah.
The funny are always kind of like
we're
off.
always a little off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a life
what a story, Mark.
experience. Yeah.
Have you seen
What's that from?
Have you seen The Room?
I have with Brie Larson?
No, that's Room.
Oh.
The Room.
Oh, The Room.
Come on, man.
With the dude.
Yeah.
No, I only saw
Tommy
the James
Wiseau.
Franco.
Oh, you got to see the
Well, I got to see the original.
Come on.
I know.
You would
I'm messing
love
up.
it. You of all people would love it.
I know. I got to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it
Yeah,
tonight.
there's a thing where he's like, beat up a girl so bad, she ended up in the hospital. And the guy says, oh, what a story, Mark. So
nice story, Mark.
What's the story,
I saw
Mark?
that. I saw the clip of that. Yeah.
Whatever.
What a nut that guy is. You think he studied Chicano studies before he started making movies?
I think he didn't, which is why he spent
Which is why his
$6
movies
million.
are so bad.
Yeah.
Wild. Did you ever? Oh, man, I don't want to. We could do a whole podcast on that relationship.
It's
But
what
it's
I've
just,
been telling.
It's what right.
Because I'm not so much anymore.
Do you channel? Let me ask you this: interrupting you as a man does.
Yeah. I don't care.
My mom's gonna love that.
I don't
moment.
get triggered by that stuff.
Oh, really?
Well, it depends. Like it depends on.
Okay, let me go. Wait. No, go ahead.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, I don't get a. I get. It depends.
Well, what
on
I was gonna say. Okay. Now, are you triggered now? It's starting to get there. It's a little
there.
bit.
I'm
Hey,
not
you're almost there.
100%.
You're almost there. You're almost gonna
there.
get.
I'll tell you when you're there. You're not gonna be able to tell me when I'm there.
Okay, go ahead. For real. Here, I'm gonna move the mic.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Yeah, you derailed me.
Job well done. Point 1 for men.
No, I had a man that talked for like 40 minutes straight. And that drives me nuts. If you're going to interrupt me and then talk that long, we have to be playing tennis. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, that sucks. I've been in groups of friends where like it's a couple of guys and like one girl, and the girl I can tell is like trying to contribute to the conversation. But there's this thing, men, I mean, it's unfortunately probably partially natural to just try and like dominate whatever scene you're in, whatever conversation you're in. And so I'll try to be like, hey, hang on a second. Like, Rachel wants to say something. Go ahead. I've said that before. I've done that before because I'm a nice person. But of course, sometimes I've done what I just did.
But also, that's
for you.
your way to dominate.
Exactly. So
Maybe.
I'm dominating and I'm showing that I can provide
yeah, you're like,
for
I'm dominant
a woman.
and compassionate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Let's have babies. That's usually how the conversation ends. Yeah. What was I just going to say? Oh, the interrupting stuff. Yeah, the toxic, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I have a different question for you. As a performer, do you take things like that experience, which I would call traumatic, right? There's some trauma there.
Yeah.
Do you ever like pull from that to put it into whatever you're performing, or do you think that happens subconsciously? I'll give you an example. For me, I take moments in my life that have been really extreme trauma I've been through, really heightened emotional moments of my life that I can identify. And I've like breathed in those. I've like meditated with those in the past. I've really thought about those. I've gone back in time to try and experience those moments so that if I'm performing in some type of way in a short, a video, a movie one day, or if I'm even just writing and I need to take a certain extreme emotion and put it in, I can tap into that like reserve of experiences that I have.
Yeah.
Do you do that consciously or subconsciously? And have you done it with this experience that you just shared?
So I had a show in DC right before the pandemic. It was like the end of February 2020. Mm-hmm. And I was in DC and I had shows, but I was crying. Like,
you were at the Comedy Loft?
Yeah. I
remember seeing your poster because I was there a couple of weeks prior. I'm going back in September, Washington, D.C.
I should go with you.
Do you want to come?
I can open for you.
Do you want to?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll talk. Go ahead.
And maybe you want to hear this first.
Yeah, definitely want to hear this first.
So I cried on stage.
Uh-huh.
So the first, I was like, I don't want to do my set because I told you, I don't know if I told you, but I used to tour I would do 20 minutes of stand-up, No, first I would do video, right? I told you I would do video, and then I'd come out with a wig and do characters. It was like a variety show. That's
like a one-woman show.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would end on 20 minutes of stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna just do all of it because I don't whatever. But I didn't, I just went through everything I went through, and I was like, I don't feel called to like do this. Actually, in fact, I did breath work. Have you done breath work?
On stage?
No.
I mean, I've done breath work at a music festival.
So funny. Dead. Like where you lay down and the Den teaches it. There's a place called the Den. There's like teachers all around.
I've only done like a one-off thing with some dude on peyote at Lightning in a Bottle.
Sounds amazing.
It's so good.
So it's this thing where you're like, and you breathe to music, and there's like a room full of people, or you could do it privately, and it removes stuck energy out of the body. And so like that was my way of physically like trying to heal the trauma or whatever. I don't know why I went like that, but whatever.
Sure.
I'll take what I can get. Like I'll try everything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it was very healing. By the end of it, they're like, and let out a scream, and you're like, ah, and people are crying. And you're like, I guess I should cry. And I did many times. But anyway, that was not the point. I was listening. And then at the end, they were like playing Beyonce's Spirit and a song I never heard before. And I just was like, oh my God, like I need to tell this story on stage. Like, this is what I want to tell on stage. Like, because it's fucking ridiculous. As far as like me being like, sure, come stay with me. I've never met you before, but why don't you stay in my apartment? You have an accent, so you must be trustworthy. Like all these things where I'm like, I must have been out of my mind.
Yep.
To be like, let's go. Like that's right. Like being removed, I can see how out of my mind I was, or like how just disillusioned I was. So whatever. I was like, I'm not going to do my usual set. I'm just going to go wing it.
Really? No plan?
And I was headlining. So no plan. I mean, I told some of my jokes, right? Like I told like, hey, I'm Manon, people think I'm Adam, but I just like let them, like whatever. I do the usual whatever.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, so I got engaged. I'd always do this thing. I'm like, and people are like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, and then I tell the story. And the first night, because I did 3 nights, the first night I sobbed my eyes out, and it was not funny.
What? Wait. Okay, hang on. You were telling the story on stage.
Yeah.
And you started crying, telling it?
Like.
During your headline stand-up comedy set.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there parts of the story when you were telling it that were funny?
Kind of.
Okay.
Because when he told the girl that he was texting, I'm going to be on the red carpet and I want you by my side.
Oh, God.
I'm like, you've done one non-union commercial. You're not on what red carpet?
What was it for? Do you remember what the commercial was for?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, you got to make it up. When you do this bit on stage again, you have to tell the story. You have to. On stage, it has so much room for laughter.
Yeah.
And you gotta name the commercial and make it silly.
Okay.
You've done one cat litter commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's perfect.
That's
you're good with details.
Yeah.
I need help with that. Specifics.
Yeah. Okay. So you cried. At what point did you cry? And what did the audience do?
Halfway through. Oh man, they were like. It was just, you could hear a pin drop. It was just silent.
Dude.
No one was talking. They were like, because these people, to be honest with you, like. The people that came to see me have been following me on social media, and I took everybody on this love story. I don't know, not to like toot my own horn, but I got 100,000 likes on the photo of him engaging to me when normally I get like nothing. I mean, that was kind of like a joke, but it sounds kind of pompous now, but people cared. People were like, we love you together. Oh my God, you're our love story, blah, blah, blah. So some of them didn't know.
Okay.
Some of them were like, oh my God, where's your husband? Where's your fiance? We want to meet him, because they'd followed this. And so when I told them I'm engaged and they're all clapping and then I tell them the story, you heard everybody go, oh my God. And people were like, oh hell no, like they were getting pissed.
Yeah.
And then it ended and it was like, I was like, oh shoot, like that is not fun.
Man.
Like some of it, like I didn't find the funny yet.
Right.
Maybe
you're still working it out. You're practicing just telling the story.
But I was also like grieving on stage.
Oh my God.
So afterward, this one was like, we love you, we did come for comedy.
Oh no.
And I was
she said that to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like, I actually admire what you had to say. I think it was really beautiful and profound, but just so you know, we did come for comedy. I was just like, thank you for your feedback. And then the next night I did it again, but I didn't cry. I maybe teared up at one point, but it was a little funnier.
How long after the divorce was this?
We weren't divorced yet. This was
right
after
during.
therapy.
Wow. That's fresh, dude. That's so
Like,
fresh.
I really should have said no to the show because I was just in no place. Like,
Yeah.
like those 3 days there, I was sobbing outside of the show. Like, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have been.
That's tough.
But I also thought, I was like, who cares? This is an experience. Like, I don't need to be like, whatever. Like, so
Builds your
I'll lose
character.
followers. Like, it's
Social media isn't everything.
fine. And I mean, they'll have it. They'll be like, I mean, we went to see, who cares? It's like,
Yeah,
none of
yeah,
it
yeah.
matters anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So by the third night, like, it was comical. Like, it could be funnier, and I'll keep working on it or whatever. But it's completely different from night one, and so it kind of like built and was fine. And then I came back, and I think I got coronavirus
Nice.
because I came back and had the flu and I was coughing, but this was before they were testing. And
Yeah, they say it was around in the fall prior to
No.
what you're talking about.
no,
Yeah, November.
but I went and I came back from
2019.
Washington D.C. March 1st.
Yeah,
That was
for
like
sure.
I had it.
Yeah, you got it.
I
I was sick as hell in December, but they gave me
2019?
antibiotics and I got better, which means it was bacteria, not a virus. So I don't know.
Yeah, they tested me for the flu, and they're like, "You're positive for the flu." I was like, "Oh, so I had the flu, but I've
But I
never had the flu, and I was coughing." But you can have both.
Yeah. And sometimes it on the early tests, I think it was registering it's the flu. I don't know. I'm not Fauci.
Oh, you're not?
I wish.
Hold on.
Hang on.
You sound
Dude, is we came for comedy the worst thing anybody said to you after a show?
100%.
That's so funny. I finished
Yeah.
a show on a cruise ship, which I have already told this story, but I basically did terribly on a cruise ship. And they had a whole table set up for me for where I could give out like stickers after the show, but I did so badly that I didn't go out there, but I was behind the curtain that was directly behind the table.
Oh no.
So I was listening to all the people file out, and I was hidden behind a curtain. And I heard a guy say to his friend, "Well, you can't always be entertained." And I stayed in my little room the next day for 24 hours. I
You
didn't
guys,
show my face.
comedies, don't do it.
Don't do comedy ever.
It's really
guys.
hard.
It's very hard.
Like, that sucks.
Granted, we're not cops or firemen, and I get that.
I think it's harder.
I think it's much harder.
It's a risk for our feelings. But it's honestly like the fact that you kept going.
Dude,
Like,
I
come
mean,
on. That's
those,
amazing.
You said you never started with open mics, right? You didn't really
I mean,
go
my
to the
first
open mic
ever was
scene?
an open mic.
But you didn't like the way
No,
I
I
did,
didn't tour- no, I didn't do
or
it
a
the
lot
way
of
you did
comics.
it, no.
So like the way I did, which I've already told you, is the first like 2 or 3 years I was rocking 3 to 5 open mics every night,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. And that, like, doing so bad, if somebody told me, maybe not me, because I probably would have kept going because I'm sick. But like a typical stand-up comedian, if you tell them, hey, you're going to spend 6 hours a night for your first 3 years every night doing so badly, people aren't going to like you. They're not going to laugh. You're going to feel like absolute shit for a very long time. I think more than half of the people wouldn't even start.
Why would that? Yeah.
Because when you don't know that and you're going through the process, you're just like, it's like, oh, okay, I don't know. Maybe next time's going to be the time I get hit. Maybe next time is going to be the time I make people laugh. And so you're chasing a high.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had known what's ahead, you'd be like, fine, I don't want to live like that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, but I believe that's why you're touring and selling out and I'm not, because you put in the work.
Yeah. You could be selling out.
No.
Are you on the road? Are you trying to do road gigs?
No.
Are you interested in doing road gigs?
I am when I
Yeah.
have a set that I'm excited about.
Sure. Right. Would you? And I love that you were doing a one-woman show because that's what mine is. When I'm at like a proper venue, I can do like an hour of stand-up, just straight stand-up if it's like a bar show and they don't have a projector and I don't have my wigs or anything. But it's not my favorite. I need my wigs.
You
know?
do, yeah.
Have I shown you my wig closet yet?
No.
You'll see it.
Okay.
So,
I'm the opposite. I don't love wigs.
You don't like wigs?
I just haven't had the fun of it yet. I've
Yeah.
obviously worn them
Yeah.
over the years, but
I
I would prefer actually doing like dressing and changing, and like I just want to do it with just a microphone with my hair up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I know you're
Sure.
very into production.
I love production.
Yeah,
I love props.
and you shows like your videos are amazing because of that.
Yeah.
Mine are selfie style with
But yours are amazing because you're naturally talented and I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're
So
fucking hilarious. You're hilarious.
I have no talent, so I need a wig.
No, I believe I've gotten in my way because I haven't put in the production work.
Oh,
as well as
interesting.
the stand-up work. I think I could be so much further along had I had the patience, diligence, discipline, but I got lucky and I was like, got big on Vine, and then that
Right.
kind of made me rest on my laurels.
Sure.
So-
I definitely think you should do more live stuff because you do so many characters and impressions. And I want to know more about your one-woman show because the one that I was putting together right before the Pandy hit was like a mixture of what you just said. It was like I had it listed out as a video opening, 10 minutes of stand-up, a video coming out as that character in costume for 5 minutes, a video to change, come back for 20 minutes of stand-up. You know, it was
Yeah.
like that type of thing,
Yeah.
all for like an hour and 15. And it was so fun. It was so fun. I was doing it at every college. I would have them bring a projector. I had like the lights and shit for this Kanye story that I would tell because I was a PA on one of his Sunday service things.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to go up to him with like a plate of cheese and like offer it to him. And the producer was like, make sure he eats this. And so I was like, okay, fuck. And like
Yeah,
he
how do
literally said, don't take no for an answer and bring
What?
this cheese
No, that's
plate
too
to
much
Kanye.
pressure.
Yeah, especially at noon on a Sunday in the hot sun with a plate of cheese.
Come on, what kind of cheese?
I don't know, but it got me thinking like
Was it like sliced cheese?
it was sliced cheese. There was some meat on there, like some salami.
Okay.
It was like a charcuterie type deal.
Okay.
But I was like, is this like his medicine? Why am I not allowed to say take no for an answer?
Yeah.
And
It
so I had to
sounds
walk
like
up
it,
this hill.
Like
and-
you're feeding someone out of the...
yeah. Oh, it was fish. That's what it was. It was cheese and smoked salmon. And the
sounds good.
producer was like, don't take no for an answer. And I was like, that's such a weird thing to say
Yeah, about cheese.
about cheese and smoked salmon for Kanye West. Like, what is he? Is this a medicinal thing? Does he need his smoked salmon at noon?
Like, what's going to happen if he doesn't have it?
Exactly. And so I tell this whole story, and then I wrote this rap about feeding Kanye West fish, and it's like a 60-second like rap that to the tune of "Good Life" by Kanye West and T-Pain.
Ah, love
And it was
T-Pain.
the closing set, and I did this whole video montage with a bunch of fish that have Kanye's head on it, very like South Park style, and it's all anime. It was so fun. Anyways, I don't know what that
That's
tangent was,
awesome.
but that's just part of like the whole one-man show that I was putting together. So when
That's
I hear
awesome.
what you're doing, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I can't sit through an hour of stand-up anymore.
Yeah, I hear that. I can if it's really funny. But I haven't. I haven't
Yeah.
gone to a stand-up show like to see somebody do stand-up.
Besides me and JP.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That was
yeah,
amazing.
that was fun.
It's also because I know you guys, but also you guys are very talented. And
Thanks.
that was I don't remember the last time I went and bought a ticket to see someone do stand-up.
When's the last
Actually, I
time you
don't think I've ever-
performed live on stage?
That
Prior to the Pandy?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you got to jump back on.
I know.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I really love being on stage. I
Mhm.
really do. It's so different than being on phone,
Yes.
being on screen.
Being on screen. Yeah. Yeah. It's a different type of fulfillment. It's immediate connection. It's immediate energy
you can
distribution.
feel
and-
everybody, the laugh, the energy
Yeah.
is so different than posting a video and seeing people kind of numbers change.
Yeah. And
It's
seeing
kind of like-
names that, you don't know who that, it's just, a
It's
name is different
disconnected.
than a smiling face.
Very much
an
so.
Instagram handle is different than a smiling face. They're two different things.
Just so you guys know.
So you guys know they're two different things.
Very different.
Yeah. During the pandemic,
I realized I got Pandy from you because I said that.
are you using it now? Use it.
I said,
please.
how's everybody's Pandy? And
Good.
everybody was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what I'm saying. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. And nobody got it. And I thought, where did I hear this then? And you just confirmed that I must have got it from you.
I haven't heard anybody else say it.
Okay.
Please use it.
I unconsciously took
I'm
it.
trying to make it a thing.
And no, I was like, why does this so obvious? Like I said, how's everyone's Pandy?
Yeah.
It was on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, nice.
That you missed out
I
on.
missed out. Totally missed out. Skipped it.
Skipped it.
Consciously skipped it.
Consciously.
I'll be at the next
The
one.
next Cinco de Mayo party that I may or may not have.
Uh,
And everyone looked at, they're like,
Pandy.
and it was really smart, funny people.
Yeah.
They didn't get it.
They
And I was
didn't
like,
get it, huh?
pandemic. And they're like, oh, Pandy. Oh, it's good.
I want to put it on a shirt, but I don't know how much I can like play down the fact that it truly was a
It's a
pandemic.
big deal, yeah.
But I wanted to make a shirt that just says "Survived the Pandy."
yeah.
Is that funny, or
that's
does that
cute.
poke fun at all the people that died? I don't know. Because I don't want to be rude. You know what I
that
mean?
your
Don't
foot?
touch my foot with your foot. Don't do that. You can't do
just
that.
wanted to.
It's okay. You did it
Something-
once,
I
but
was
don't do it
excited.
again. It's all right. You did the one.
We're
Don't
playing
make it two.
footsie under the
Mhm.
table. What was the question though?
Survived the Pandy.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if
I don't
but
know.
is that rude to the people who did not survive the Pandy? I don't know. We'll
Aren't
find
you,
out
isn't
when I make
making
shirts.
fun of something that's heavy the whole point of comedy is to heal the parts of us that hurt?
It is, but these days, as soon as you make fun of something that's heavy, people get offended and say you're not allowed to make fun of that,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting. Like I've had people.
It's fun. Huh.
It's fun. It's
Love it.
Yeah.
Can't do anything anymore.
You really can't. It's crazy.
Sucks.
Did your material evolve over the course of the Pandy? when it turned from an epi to a Pandy?
No.
Do you get that epi?
Epidemic?
Yeah, come on.
Of course.
We're having fun.
Epi to a pandy.
Did you find yourself changing at all? Did you do anything that was different? Even as far as like, because you do a lot of, I don't know how to brand it, but like positivity and communication of your thoughts and feelings and I don't want to motivational-esque. I'm just throwing out words that try to capture the vibe.
That fits.
Yeah. And did you find yourself doing more of that because you wanted to inject more positivity into the world, or did you kind of keep it the same throughout the past year and go more introspective? Like, what was your kind of evolution over the past 12 months?
Oh man, I don't know. I was all over the place. I would go live and just start crying.
Really?
Yeah, I would just go
Whoa.
live and I'd be like, so just having some feelings, and I found that, man, people liked that more. Like when I would post a picture and be like, I'm really struggling today with compare and despair, and like, I'm just, the way that I'm getting through it is doing this, and just, there's two sides of every coin, and just know that we're only seeing one side of the coin on Instagram and stuff. Because even though I love jokes and I love comedy so much, like that'll always be the through line of my life. My brain just goes to the odd thing and what's funny always. And, I've been on a spiritual journey of healing for like, I got sober at 23 years old, and it's been 9 years. And that's no joke. Like that's hard. If you're trying to, you have to really look at yourself when you're doing that. And you don't have to, you can. I had the opportunity to, and then I started doing every seminar under the sun because I realized I'm really scared in my body. Like I'm not comfortable in my body. So how can I get comfortable so that I can be free and be at peace in the world, so that I can, keep doing comedy and share this stuff. So I find it really important to tell both. I found it an interesting journey, because some people will see my inspirational videos or whatever you want to call them, and they'll go, I was waiting for the punchline. Like I was waiting for the, like, where's the funny? But then most of them are like, oh my God, I needed this today. Or, I was expecting this to be funny, but it was a way better than that. Like I always thought comedy was the best. Like there's nothing above comedy in my book. And I've had a couple people say, I prefer this. I prefer the motivational. And I'm going, what?
Wow.
What are you talking about? No, a comedy is, there's nothing more elite.
Yeah.
That's not true. Like my reality has been shattered because of what I've posted and saying, like, I get so much more engagement as far as people commenting and writing personally to me saying, now that I know you've gone through this, I'm able to go through this. I know I'm not alone. I love seeing the other side of you, the serious side, because it makes me feel like we're connected and all these things. And I'm going, holy crap. Like this is also important. So I'm trying to do both. It's kind of confusing to people, I'm sure. Like so I've created another channel, Manifestation, where I just put all that stuff and I don't put comedy on there. Yeah. And I see going in that route. I see like doing a stand-up special where I tell the story and it's funny, but more so at the end of it, there's a message of like, where people are like, oh, damn, that affected me.
That's
it's
awesome.
Funny, but it affected me.
Do you ever watch Mike Birbiglia? Do you know who that is?
Is that the guy? Like, I just watched him.
He does a lot of storytelling, like long form storytelling. All of his specials are very long form story type things. Yeah. And he gets into a lot of these. Which one did you watch?
It was on Netflix.
What I Should Have Said Was Nothing.
Maybe.
That's a fun
What's
one.
a joke in it? Is that the one where he pulls out the guy who gets headlocked by a woman cop?
I think it's either that one or My Girlfriend's Boyfriend.
No.
Which is a different special. Either way, he does a lot of what sounds like you're going down the path of, which is going into these crevices of like emotion and emotional experience, and then back up into laughs and figuring out a way, because that truly is what comedy is best at, is breaking down those barriers of harsh emotional trauma or pain or experiences and making them funny so that you can overcome them.
Exactly.
Because to overcome, as soon as you laugh at something, it's broken.
Yeah.
Here, a great metaphor is the boggart in Harry Potter. Are you a Harry Potter fan? Don't say no, or we'll end the podcast now.
I am not a fan. I've seen all the movies.
No.
I haven't read the books though.
Do you
I
remember
read the first one?
So there's this creature.
Harry Potter.
Do you do a Dobby?
I guess.
You
Is that
guess.
it?
That was pretty good. There's a creature called the boggart. This is such
Is
a
that
silly
is
fucking
that the thing
metaphor. I
that-
can't believe I'm making this metaphor. No, it's
What's that thing? The quilt.
the snitch,
Snitch.
the golden snitch. It's okay. That's strike 2,
That's
but
not
it's
it.
okay. I can't have no Harry Potter slander in my home. No, I can't believe I'm making this metaphor, but it's the first thing I thought of because I'm 12. There's a creature called the boggart, which lives in a little wardrobe or like a closet or something, dark and cramped. And every time it emerges, it takes on the form of whatever your greatest fear is.
Oh,
And
God.
so to defeat it, you think of the best way you can make that fear look funny. And then as soon as it hears you laugh, it evaporates
That's
into
what's
nothing,
up.
right?
That's what's up.
So like if you're scared of spiders, if you're scared
You
of...
make it a cartoon and you make it wear a hat and go
Exactly,
dance.
and
Yeah.
tap dance. And if you're scared of, I don't know, something a little more existential, like what's an existential fear? Like failure, right? If you're scared of failure, maybe it takes the form of like everybody you know fucking on top of Mount Olympus with trophies and shit, and then like you in the corner fucking sobbing. And then you just do something. Anyways,
So-
the metaphor is just in the sense that the strongest power that people have is to turn whatever that negative thing is into a positive. And that laughter is a huge deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my book, I talk about, because I'm certified in neurolinguistic programming. That happened in 2013, and I became a master practitioner in 2015, which is all about programming our unconscious mind, because everything lives in the unconscious mind. And I talk about similar ways of healing, which is like if you have a voice in your head that is telling you like shitty things and it's being mean and it's like, I'm never going to be enough. You just change it to Mickey Mouse. I'm never going to be enough. And it's like, it makes you kind of giggle and you're like, I can't take it as serious when I
Yeah.
hear it in this way, or I move it, or I change the picture, because we're all making pictures unconsciously in our head. And if we change the picture, I mean, this is a more like clinical way of doing it and sitting down and taking somebody in hypnosis and getting their, seeing what is in their way. But yeah, humor's in comedy videos is an immediate way to be like, haha, and to like wire together trauma with humor, and then it's broken. And then that pathway goes somewhere else. And then all of a sudden you're not triggered by that thing anymore.
Right.
Which is freedom, obviously,
Yeah.
because, anything that disturbs our peace is an unresolved issue within ourselves. Anything. It's an opportunity to go, oh, fuck, I'm not healed here.
Right.
Something's off. But instead of doing that, people go, it's your fault. You shouldn't be funny.
Right.
You shouldn't make funny videos ever for anybody.
Right.
Because you're supposed to be compassionate. Sometimes being compassionate is poking the person's wound, going, hey, that's there.
Yeah.
You have a large cut and it's gashing out. And if we don't take care of that, you're going to die. You're going to bleed out.
Yeah.
So I'm just pointing at it. And instead they're like, you created it. And it's like, no, it's on your arm, dude. You have to take care of it. I can't take care of it.
That's
I'm
part
in
of that
California.
victim mentality.
Yeah.
The victimhood stuff
Oh yeah, we did
that we were
that
talking
video.
about with JP. Neurolinguistic programming.
NLP.
NLP. What can you just define that for me in like a couple of sentences? You kind of just did.
Language drives our behavior. So what we say to ourselves is most important. And our unconscious mind is like the orchestra, and our conscious mind is like the conductor. So whatever our conscious mind says to our unconscious mind is most important in how our behavior lays out. So our unconscious is like a 5-year-old. It's very literal. So if I tell it like I struggle in life, the unconscious will make that happen.
It'll start learning that.
Yes,
And
that's why
programming your behavior around that.
Yeah.
So you want to be telling your unconscious
Only good things.
only good things. And it's that in that communicative process of speaking directly to your unconscious, is that in a tangible sense, could that be related to just a mantra that you say often?
Yeah.
A behavior that you change, like instead of butting into conversations, I'll sit back and listen a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, what are some tangible ways to communicate with your subconscious?
So speaking to yourself is very like the first and foremost. You can use your name. So I was talking about it with somebody who is having trouble with their diet. because they keep saying, I don't know how to lose weight. Like I'm just so heavy. And so they're programming themselves to be that way, unfortunately. And it sounds so easy. It's like, no, I am though. So what do you want me to do? For me, as somebody that used to overconsume, I had an all or nothing mentality. The first thing I did when I learned it, I just tried it on for size. I would speak in past tense. Even if the past is a second ago, it's still the past.
Yeah.
And when I do that and I say, I used to overeat, it allows the future to be different. Then the unconscious mind goes, oh, used to. Okay, so what should we do moving forward? It opens up the possibilities for the future. And so, saying to yourself, if weight's a thing, like weight drops off of me, I burn fat so easily, and speaking it in the present tense, using the word now, using your name, or if you butt into conversations, you say, people that butt in are just either excited or they're doing it out of nervousness because they're like, if I don't say this, then I'm not enough and blah, blah, blah. And rather than being like, I can listen now, man, and it is safe to now listen. Hear what they're saying. Talk. But you have to learn how to talk to yourself first. Yeah. Because we're unconsciously talking to ourselves the way that basically our parents talked to us. We picked it up. Usually, like the first 7 years of our experience is very, that's the most impression that we have. So that's like vital. And the way that our parents spoke to us is usually the way that we speak to ourselves unless we change it now. And so...
And speaking to
making
yourself,
different pictures also. So if you're picturing yourself going to the fridge every night, change the picture. Make it black and white, blur it, and make a new, big, bold, colorful picture of you doing push-ups instead and drinking water. Yeah. So that you can have a vision of, that's what manifesting. That's what manifesting is, basically, is like they say that the mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy, right? So you might as well picture what you want to have happen in your life rather than what you don't want, because...
Yeah, and that'll probably set you down the course to actually doing those things, because obviously picturing some of those things isn't going to burn calories, but as soon as you're living in that state of I am this or I do burn calories, and you're thinking of that and it's taking up your being, you're way more likely to actually go for a walk, go for a run, eat healthy, because you're already living like that.
Yeah, you're encouraging it. Imagine a little kid running a race, and if you're yelling at the kid like, you got it, go, 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 they're going to be running. But if you're like, stop, what are you doing? Yeah. The kid's going to stop and go, wait, what? Right. So it's like, well, you're that kid in there. So are you encouraging it? Are you saying, yes, I can. I am dropping weight now. We got this. Yeah. To go like, yeah, I will go for a run. Are you saying, you're not going to do it? Like, just sit down. Yeah. Hearing that me say that now, I'm like, I don't want to do it. Forget it. Doesn't matter what you want. Just like, it's what you're saying to yourself. It's like literally everything. And
it's also the vocabulary that you choose to use has such a huge consequence for, and I say consequence, but I don't mean that negatively. It has such a big impact on how you move forward instead of standing still. And I think a big part of that for me has been changing what I say to myself from I will to I am, I am. And just living in that present as if it is the present. I am a millionaire. I am I do have this. I am this. I am in shape. My shitty ankles have healed. They're strong now. And using those words to kind of provide support to whatever your goals are, it makes your goals way more reachable. For me, because it's like you put them right here. It is this. You are this. Yeah. And it becomes tangible. It becomes in the present instead of something in the future that is always out of reach by saying, I will,
or
I will.
I want that, or I will. Yeah, it's like, I am that. I have it now. And it just, even if it's not accurate in the moment, it doesn't matter. It'll be there soon. If you keep saying that, like, you and I are probably a really good example of that. I mean, I have a lot to work on when I think about this. Like, even saying this, I'm like, okay, I need to work on this because I need to start changing the language with everything to suit, to be my biggest cheerleader, like, Nicole would say. But also, if I say I burn fat easily, I'm more likely, there's trillions of cells listening. Right. So, like, there is something to that. I know you can't think your way, or maybe you can, but my cells change. Like, when you're, like, in love for the first time and you just go out to eat everything and it just doesn't even stick to you and you're just like, you're free because your cells are just like open, and like there's just a lot going on that we don't know, and we might as well like say it just feels better. And it does matter. Like, who's it? Joe Dispenza, do you follow him? He's all about that. He healed himself from a major surgery by the power of the mind.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people have. No drugs.
No drugs. Just talking to his knees.
Yeah. Well, he just envisioned every day, every part of him healing.
I mean, that's huge, man. And that's where people kind of separate themselves from the conversation and brand it as some woo-woo bullshit. But I am so on board for that. Always have been. My mom raised me with a lot of that, just positive thinking. And
that's good.
And, I mean, she was a hippie.
Yeah.
She took me to some Grateful Dead shows.
Aww.
So, I absolutely live with that. It's also like for people who are hesitant to go down that road of spirituality and trying to be conscious about what the energies are that you're constantly exchanging with other people and with the world. It's harmless to try.
Yeah.
We're not telling you to go on a retreat to Sedona for 3 months and lose yourself. We're just saying, people like us that practice these things, are just incorporating very small elements of like consciousness into what our being is and what we want. In addition to working hard and doing things in the tangible reality, you can just do these other slightly subconscious mental things with your energy to get a step closer to whatever it is you want.
Yeah, one day at a time. Try it on today. Try it on for a week. It doesn't have to be for the rest of your life. You will not lose anything. There's only so much to gain. Yeah. Right? Like, because Jim Carrey wrote a check for $10 million.
Love Jim Carrey. Did you read his book?
No.
No.
Where's
you didn't
his
read
book?
it?
What
I'll
is
give it to you. You can borrow it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good, dude.
When did
It's
it
an
come out?
acid trip of a book. It is. I've never read a book like this before in my life. The whole time I thought I was on mushrooms. Just reading it. I've had that same like feeling. I was like buzzing. I was like, what is happening?
Oh, the energy
whole
came
thing.
out through the book?
Dude.
What's it about? Mushrooms?
It's semi-autobiographical, so it has some stories that seem to have some truth to it. And I've read that a lot of the stories do have truth to it. And it's about him. It's about Jim and one of his relationships with a woman. And then it reaches this insane inflection point with Nicolas Cage, who's his best friend. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
They're best friends. And
what? That's weird.
And then it goes like a little psychedelic sci-fi toward the end. It's mind-blowing. It's so good.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after
Thank
this.
you
It's
so
great.
much.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question about something you said. You mentioned compare and despair. And is that a branding that you've created?
No.
Is that what do you mean when you talk about compare and despair? Because when I've found one of my biggest problems, one of my biggest hurdles to get past, a big barrier for me in my career has been comparing myself to other people and spending too much time. I don't really do it anymore because I've consciously moved out of it and I've tried to be speaking to my subconscious about not being in this state of comparing. But we're in an industry where we're always comparing. Other people are comparing us to other people. So we, of course, are going to be comparing ourselves to other people, and that causes a lot of despair. But I've never heard compare and despair together before, as if it's a phrase that has some use.
It's like, yeah. First of all, that makes sense, and you're not alone, and everybody does it. I'm going to just say that right now. It's, I think by nature, humans, we can't help but be like, okay, where are we? Am I safe? Okay, I need to level up, or just don't let it get you down, right? So like me looking at a photo and see the number and then see someone who has less of a following or more than a following, and we started in the same, I've had people surpass me, I've had people not surpass me, and I allow the people that don't surpass me to make me feel good about myself, or allow the people that pass me numerically allow me to get me down and to not keep me in creation, to get me off my purpose. So it's like, it's a way to like compare yourself to others and then despair so much so that it blocks you from your purpose on the planet. And so it's very common. I still do it, not enough to like stop me. Like I'll keep going. Sometimes you can use it for motivation. You can go, you know what? This is showing me that I could be doing more and I want to be doing more. So I'm going to be doing more. And thank you for, what Tony Robbins says. He's like, worthy competitor.
Yeah,
use it as like fuel rather than.
That's great. And that's actually what I've tried to do is turn it into more of a positive competition than a negative.
Which
comparison.
I didn't grow up with. I hated
sports?
competition. I would play in sports, but I was like the one that was like, I would get right to the finish line of the goal, and then I'd be like, I would sabotage because I didn't want to like create. I hate conflict. Or not so much anymore, but because I realized that about myself. Yeah. But I was naturally very sporty and what's the word? Athletic, but there's another word. Coordinated.
Okay.
But I never like wanted to demolish anybody. I didn't want to beat anybody. I felt bad. I didn't want to, my feelings were so involved and very sensitive. And so it was a very major conflict. And that has actually been in conflict even with my comedy, where I'm like, I don't want to, outshine, or I'll just do my own thing because I don't want to like, it's ridiculous. Is that something you're trying to overcome, or is it something you've accepted and you're just trying to work with? Okay. I think I've overcome a lot of it and just been like, screw it. Like I don't do well. I'm not going to serve anybody by dimming my light. In fact, I'm going to encourage people to do the same. So like, thank God there's other people that I look up to that didn't dim their light, and it doesn't serve anybody. Yeah. So I know that now. Yeah. I'm sure it's still like unconsciously kind of peeks its head. Sure. Occasionally. But it doesn't rule the way that you live and move forward. No. Especially with content and comedy stuff. No. And I also, the people that sometimes I just mute people as well. Like I've muted people. If I get triggered, I'm just I'd rather just mute you. 100%. Yeah. Then there are a couple people I've muted because I didn't want to be triggered by the comparison stuff. But because it can get in the way. Like that is also you taking care of yourself. We're in a time where we know what everybody's doing all the time. It's like, you think of actors or whatever, performers years ago. It's like they only knew what they were up to with maybe hearsay, or I saw them on stage a few months ago, but now we know what everybody's doing all the time and what their numerics are. It was all so up in the air back then. And I kind of like, muting people is okay. Unfollowing people is absolutely, if you need to do that for yourself in order to shine, do it. Yeah. I was thinking the other day of unfollowing everybody. I unfollowed 700 people. Did you? And then I refollowed people that when they would pop up, so that I got a choice rather than doing out of obligation. Wow, that's good. Yeah. That's good. I was thinking of unfollowing everybody except for my sister. Just for fun. Yeah. Because I get caught up scrolling and shit. Yeah, it's a time sucker. It's a time sucker. But yeah, the comparison stuff, I've tried to turn that into more of a competition because I'm like unhealthily competitive. It's been in me my whole life from growing up watching Michael Jordan, and playing sports through college. And so that comes out in comedy. It never was a negative thing to where I looked down on my fellow comics because I was trying to be better than them. And it was also, and that comes from improv a lot too, because the number one rule in improv is make your scene partner look like the most talented person in the world. And if everybody's doing that, then you're not worried about yourself because they got your back, and then everybody looks good. Yeah. So I totally embodied that in my soul when I was first starting comedy. And I took that into stand-up. Like, I don't want anybody to do bad, but I do want to do fucking better than everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I took that, and like whenever somebody's on stage, I'm like, yes, do great. I hope that person does the best that they possibly can. Because if I'm going up next, that means I have to do better than I've ever done. And so it pushes me. Mm-hmm. And so that way I'm rooting for people. Like, yeah, I want you to do good. I want my friends to do good. I just want to do better, than my own best. I'm trying to be the best I can be. And so that competitive sense, I think, it's never really been toxic for me yet, so we'll see. Yeah. It feels good. It feels like a motivating factor for the work that I put in. Absolutely. I think you're gonna just continue to blossom. Hey, you too. You're a flower. Happy to know you. Hey, you too. I'm a flower? You're a blossoming flower. What kind of flower? Magnolia. Do an impression of a tulip. Oh, shit. Yeah, that was it. How many impressions do you have? I don't know. Do you have a number? I've never counted. Really? Do you count? No. How many impressions do you have? I don't know. Yeah, never exactly. Counted. You can't. Well, my friend said he has 250 impressions, and I was like, I have 52 faces. Do you really? I only know that because before I did not comedy, I always did comedy. Before I did anything online, my dad made me come up with 52 faces, and he took photos and he was going to put them back on the back of playing cards. Oh, so I had to do 52 faces, and that's the only reason why I know that number. Yeah, that is a lot of faces. You do have kind of a rubber face. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I have kind of a rubber face, so I do a lot of faces. What's your favorite impression to do right now? Do you have a favorite? Or like just of all time? This is you. Is that me?
Do an impression of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Do an impression of me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you have so many good ones. Like the impressions you do are so spot on when you do Britney and Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh yeah.
And all these women.
I feel like, but I do all the ones that everybody does, so that's why I'm just like,
No, I don't think everybody does Britney.
What?
Everybody does Britney?
I've seen everybody do Britney.
Really?
Not everybody, but like.
But it's like a
six
big one.
women
It's
I
like
know
everybody
where
the
they're
way everybody does
Hey
Trump.
guys, I'm just working out, and I'm not that innocent.
That's pretty good. What about Christina?
I've never done her.
Really? You can do it, Christina.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know.
Do you sing?
Kinda.
Because a lot of
I sing as an indie singer, Delilah. She comes on the road
That's
with
a
me. She's
character?
like,
Thank you so much. Hey everybody,
Oh my
what's
God.
up, baby? And I don't know what you're doing.
and I would read off the menu. I'd be like, "What are you having? French fries." You know.
That's really good.
Thank you so much.
That's funny.
Thanks.
I love Delilah.
She's got a hat and she wears
Yeah,
flowers.
big-ass hat.
And she's just like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're all one, man.
Yeah, I live in a van.
Man.
Yeah, I'm a nomad. And we're
Yeah,
all
I
nomads
date
at
around,
heart.
but like we're all dating, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. And I know you should love me like I love you, baby.
Whatever.
That's so good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good.
And then I do a Jennifer Coolidge,
Mm-hmm.
where she's like, I'm taking that dog, and oh wow, you know, I feel like this one's just so played out. Everybody does this one now.
And but like, what is she even up to? I think she does the.
Yeah, she's not really
well,
trending.
she does the what she's doing. She does the.
Is she on a show right now?
She was on Broke Girls, but she didn't
Oh,
sound
okay.
like that. She had her own accent. She probably wanted people to stop doing impressions
right.
of her. She's like,
right.
I don't remember how she sounds on that show. And then there's you know, the big one that got me on Vine was Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
And just like I don't just everything's so intense. And then I've watched her in like interviews and she's such an idiot.
It's really good. Trending women would be like, do you do any politicians? Have you ever done a politician? I don't know who would be like a trending, maybe AOC, but I don't know.
I haven't tried her.
She'd be fun. She's got like big eyes.
I used to do, you know, Obama or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like his cake.
Here's the deal. We're gonna deal.
We're gonna break.
We're gonna break.
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna go to war.
We're gonna go to war again.
We're gonna go to war again.
And then again.
And then again. And then I'm gonna go back to Chicago with Michelle
Michelle.
and the girls.
Michael. Over here, Michelle.
Oh, that's a conspiracy right there,
Yeah,
dude.
don't worry. I saw a clip of it. I don't know what I believe. I'm just kidding.
Woo!
And then, you know, of course, when Kamala.
It's okay. You're racist now.
No.
Congratulations.
When she, you know, I do this when I play cards with my mom because
Mm-hmm.
of Jim Carrey's impression of Biden. Anytime I'm losing, I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Oh, it's fun.
I can't help it. And
Yeah.
she's like, just stop it. Stop it.
Is she a big
I'm
Biden
I'm
fan?
speaking.
That's
I'm
good.
speaking. Mr.
Yeah.
I'm speaking.
Hey, Kamala,
Yeah.
what are you getting for lunch? I was thinking get a little Subway. Get a little Subway sandwich, put it in my back pocket and say, hey, where we going swimming later? Yeah.
That's funny.
Joe's
Yours is
funny.
hilarious.
Joe Biden's funny because it's like I don't think you can do a good Biden without going a little bit amnesia.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what he's known for.
It's just don't be mean about it. I've definitely been mean about it in the past, but I was working
Whatever.
on
All impressions are mean if you look at it through a mean lens. Like if I'm
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
Burn down my gym.
it's like I'm saying that she's like kind
Yeah.
of ditzy, or like that's girl. I'm saying that she has both. Like it's like I
it.
don't.
Yeah, you know, I've seen comments on
You look
impression
at it with
videos.
whatever lens you have through it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's really more about the person watching than it is
It's
about the
about
person.
you, the viewer. It's not about me
If you're
anymore.
offended, it's not my fault. I didn't implant the buttons to press. Your mom did. Talk to her.
Yeah,
Forgive her.
Dude, I've seen people be like, "Yo, why are you making fun of that dude?" and it's like an impression that is just like more of an homage than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. What are you doing here?
I'm not trying. Like, you have to understand, I'm a comic. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to make fun of the world.
Yeah.
Think
the
about what
absurdity
making
of
fun
the world.
means. Making fun.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like,
make it fun.
Let's make it fun.
Yeah.
Something that is usually heavy. Can we make it fun?
Right. That's why I really like my favorite impressions are breaking down these dudes that are held up as idols. Rogan, Eminem, The Rock.
You do good, Rogan. Have you done The Rock?
Yeah. Have you ever seen my
God.
Rock?
No. I don't think.
I'll show you. It's better in the video because I have a bald cap on.
But he's just kind of, he's back here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're on the set of Red Notice. I got my bottle of Terramana tequila.
Yeah. Come on. That's my Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Yeah.
Kevin, you tiny little brown M&M. What are you doing down there? Kevin, come here. Put your arms above your head like this.
No, I don't
so
wanna
I can
get next
use
to you,
you
man.
as a kettlebell.
That's almost how I don't want to get next to you, man. Is that like Chris Tucker?
Hey,
Hey,
here's
man.
the deal, man.
Hey, man.
This is Kevin. He's like, all right, bet. All right, bet. All right, here we're going to do. Bet.
I just remember him. Do you ever see Scary Movie 3?
A long time ago.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite Kevin Hart movie.
Oh, really?
He's in it for like 5 seconds. And he's just always like, yeah, my Archanique man lives over there. Oh, yeah, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. And then he keeps getting pushed to the side.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just
That's
love
funny.
how small he seems on screen.
He does seem
But
small.
I think he is shorter than The Rock, maybe?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe
I was
by
confused.
maybe a foot. Wow. Yeah, like a human foot, not 12 inches.
Oh, a human foot?
Yeah, I'm only measuring like human feet now.
Whose foot? The
Anybody's
Rock's
that's
foot
laying around.
or Kevin Hart's foot? Because there's
Kevin
a
Hart's
difference.
Fun. We've had fun. You know?
Do you do a Kanye impression?
No, but that's what I wanted
Because I
Batch
just
to do.
feel like I could play
I don't think I can do
Kim
black people.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
I got called out for doing The Rock because he's part black. And I saw somebody like, hey, man, this is racist. You're not part black. I was like, what?
So you can only do...
The fuck does that mean, dude?
You can only do what color you are? Who
I
decided
don't know.
this?
I don't know. It's so all over the place. If I had a good like LeBron impression, I would just get some fake hair and put it on as like his classic beard and maybe a jersey, and then I could like do a LeBron impression.
Yeah.
But like I'd rather just find a funny black guy,
Yeah, of course.
you know?
LeBron's not that funny, is he?
LeBron's not that funny. Well, just he has like these mannerisms when he plays where he gets like really
Yeah.
intense and he does these like specific moves.
Mm.
Kanye would be hilarious because he's got like that big jaw. He's got kind of a lisp, I think. He's got kind of a lisp.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's fun to do right now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
'Cause he's got this underbite right here, and he's like a bro. What's
I
up,
told
bro?
you I worked with him for a second, and he didn't.
Yeah,
he
didn't
didn't
speak. Yeah. I wonder if he speaks yet.
Only online.
Only
Go
online.
on camera.
Yeah. It's fun doing these new ones. I feel like I'm naturally moving away from political stuff a little bit
That's good.
because I felt like my brain was taffy for a year. You ever seen taffy in a candy store window?
Yeah.
Just
and
getting
it's
pulled
just
apart.
moving.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what my brain has felt like for a year.
I think it's beautiful that you took that and did it. That's
Yeah.
how I found you. You did.
Oh, cool.
You did Rogan with, I think the guy did Trump, and then you did Biden, and I thought, this is
Yeah.
who's this person?
Oh, cool.
So good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
and
really
then
fun.
and then I found, and then I think or I don't know, maybe it was Vincent who reposted it.
Yeah, I've
And I
done a
said,
couple
who is
things with
this?
him. Yeah,
And then that's how I found you.
that's awesome.
Yeah, you should just be, you're good to go.
We'll see
On the
if the
you'll be fine.
runway ever clears.
Especially if you stay away from political.
Yeah,
You'll be
yeah.
no, but it's relevant.
I mean, the
you can bring
political
it to. I
stuff,
mean, that's
I'll
why
do it if an idea comes
think
up.
it's great.
But like throughout the past year, I made a conscious choice to take a risk and dive into doing political content is a risk. That's a huge risk.
Huge risk.
You isolate tons of people
Because they can make their judgment
judgments
of thinking,
within a
that
minute.
must mean you're this,
within
or that must.
within the first joke of
Yeah.
a video that's political. So, I gained.
Do you do a Trump?
Yeah, but not good enough to put on camera. I do it on stage a lot. He's I do him. He's kind of in here. Mine's more of a caricature. Okay, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to build a wall around the earth to block out the aliens.
China.
No illegal aliens. Hey, how are ya?
Hey, yeah, no, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to just. I don't know why mine goes like this.
He's always in here.
Yeah.
Now you're De Niro.
Yeah.
But like Trump. Okay, now you're Pesci. Okay. The jump from Trump to Pesci is very small. It's
That's
a very
hilarious.
small line. Yeah.
You should do that.
Austin,
I should do that. We should do that.
We should all do it. Austin, the guy that does Trump in those videos, Austin Nasso, we were setting up for another Trump and Biden debate, and he kept doing Pesci, and he kept catching himself and being like, wait, I'm doing Pesci. I got to get out of Pesci.
Wow.
He's kind of like the Pesci. You know, what am I, funny? Funny like a clown?
Yeah.
And then Trump is right in here a little bit. So it was very similar for him. But yeah, moving out. I mean, not just I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, dude. I'm just doing stuff.
Have you eaten today?
Had a smoothie. What'd you eat?
I had a banana
Do you want another banana?
and half a protein bar. I don't.
Are you sure? Because I have
No,
one.
I don't even like they're cool. I like the packaging, but like I don't like want multiple in a day.
Yo, what's the most bananas you've ever eaten in one day?
Probably 2, like once on its own and then once happened to be in a smoothie.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you ever just line up 3 bananas and eat them?
No, but I've mashed them and made banana bread. Bieber, that used to be like.
That's a good beaver.
Remember,
Yeah.
he used to be on like, oh, baby, what's up? He was
Yeah.
he was on Vine for a little bit, and I remember remaking his vines.
Somebody to love.
Baby, baby, baby.
That was the first Bieber I heard.
oh, like,
I guess that was his first jam.
When
huh?
I was 16, I had a. Ain't nobody gonna give it away.
Was that ludicrous?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I found my first love.
That's hilarious. There's a video of Ludacris on the Complex Instagram yesterday,
Luda.
and he was driving his kids, and you could hear his 2 little kids in the backseat. They're like toddlers, and he's just driving like this, like with his face straight, looking forward, because they're like laughing and screaming, and one of them is like, "It's spelled F-A-R-T," and Luda goes, "Are y'all spelling fart?" And the caption was like, "Once upon a time, Ludacris was pimping all over the world."
That's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's
It's funny to see, celebrities' lives now.
Yeah.
There was once a time where we only saw the music video and maybe an interview.
Yeah.
So to see their TikToks, I'm going, whoa, this is like making you so relatable that I don't know if I value you anymore.
Right? You're coming down from your pedestal to go on do a
It is-
TikTok challenge?
And they're all doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I like you. And I feel like now I can reach you. Like we can talk now.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know.
That's the new type of celebrity that's happening now, right? Is a celebrity that's so relatable and accessible. It's to the point where there just might not ever be a Brad Pitt again. There's not going to be a Leo ever again, probably.
No.
A Leonardo DiCaprio, who has never gone. He's only done one podcast ever. And it was with Brad Pitt on Mark Maron's podcast promoting a movie.
Yeah.
But he's never hosted. He's never hosted SNL. He's never been on a late night talk show.
Why do you think that is? Brad Pitt's
He also doesn't have any socials.
Leo or Brad Pitt?
I'm talking about Leo. Leo has a Twitter that his team runs.
I thought Leo has an Instagram that's all about humanity.
That's his team
Yeah,
type
he's
thing.
not like I'm on a movie.
Right. It's not like, hey, here's me with a car or like a.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a time where I thought he would run for president.
I'd fucking vote for him.
So would I.
Dude, I'd love that man to
Yeah,
death.
he's wonderful.
He's incredible. But
I
there's
watched-
never going to be another Leo.
No, because
You know?
the weight of that kind of, first of all, you have to be really talented and start working when you're a kid on movies, and that's just not a
Right.
thing anymore. Now you
Right.
have to have an account and followers and blah blah blah. It's just like such
Right.
a different time. I remember watching Leo in Gatsby,
Mm-hmm.
and halfway through the movie, I went to see it with Hannah Pilkis.
Yeah.
And halfway through the movie, I'm crying, but it's not a sad scene. Like, it wasn't sad. And she's like, "Why? What? Oh my God, what is it?" And I was just so moved because he looked so old.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, oh, he's aged.
Yeah.
Because when I saw him, he was this young, Titanic.
Yeah.
And I was so moved that like, oh my God, he's getting old. Yeah. No shade to him.
wild?
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And it's been happening with every actor.
Yeah.
But for some reason with him, I was just like, oh my God, like we're all getting, like they're all going to
Well,
die.
that's going to be like our guy. That's one of our guys that we're going to look at 20 or 30 years from now and see him super gray playing, a grandfather or like an old kingpin
Oh
boss.
my God. Yeah. Like De
And
Niro.
it's going to be like, yeah, like De Niro.
Who's in all these like grandpa movies.
Yeah. And it's going to be like, oh, what
Whoa.
the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
You know? Or any other young actor. So, I was looking at Jonah Hill the other day.
Yeah.
There's like just a normal picture of Jonah Hill, and I was like, holy shit, dude. Superbad is what introduced me to this guy when I was senior year of high school. That was our Bible was Superbad.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Jonah, and he's maybe 40 or late 30s now or something. And I was just like, damn, age, I mean, time is undefeated to everybody. Not that Jonah looks bad. Jonah, you look great.
He actually looks better than ever.
He looks great.
Yeah.
He just looks noticeably older.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way at all. Just age, just you get older. And it just hit me like, fuck, man. And especially with us, we're going deeper into this field of being looked at every day for a living. We have to have people looking at us. So that battle with age is going to be really weird as the years go by. I feel like, I don't know. Have you thought of that? Like what?
I'm still obsessing because I went on a double date with Jonah Hill.
Did you?
Yeah. And I'm like, should I say this? Should I not? And then I'm like, fuck it. But I won't say who the other person is.
Okay.
Who's another
Who
celebrity.
his girlfriend was?
No, I was the date for Jonah.
What? What? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
So I won't say who the other celebrity is with his.
You'll tell me off camera.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, I won't.
You will.
I've promised myself.
Oh, you will. Okay.
It was
Okay.
cute.
Where'd you go?
Somewhere in Los Feliz.
Okay.
The Virgil? No.
For a drink or?
I don't remember what it was called.
How long ago was this?
8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was so friendly, so different than I had pegged him to be.
Cool.
He was really sweet. The guy, the other celeb, kept saying, "What? Do you guys know each other? Have you met before? What is this like?"
How did the date? Was it a DM?
The other
situation?
guy, no, texted me. The other celebrity texted me saying, "Hey, this is blank blank, and I'd like to take you. I was wondering if you wanted to come on a double date with me Friday with Jonah Hill." I'm like reading this text, like, the fuck is going on? What is happening? And then I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's Jonah Hill.
Yeah. Did you know
secretly
that guy's girl? The other guy's girl?
Kinda.
Okay.
I had a crush on the other guy's girl.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
The other
Live
girl's
with that.
guy.
It's too late.
The other.
Cutting this
I had
out.
a crush on everybody at the table, to be honest with you. Everybody was really successful and attractive.
Yeah.
So, we exchanged numbers. Nothing really came of it.
Sure. But it was fun. He was nice.
It was a fun
Nice guy?
experience. Yeah, it was so nice. He was
That's
so
cool.
sweet and
That's cool.
youthful energy. And we had a lot of similarities as you and I do. And
I love meeting people like
and
that.
then I saw him years later and I was like,
And do you remember you?
yeah,
Cool. That's cool.
I'm really memorable.
For sure. I love meeting people like that and finding out that they're like humble, normal people.
Again,
That they're nice.
Yeah, he was still nice even recently when I saw him.
That's
so
great. Does he want to be in our video?
Yeah, let me ask him.
In our Instagram reel? Would he drive out to Venice to be in our Instagram reel?
I mean,
I don't see why not.
you can't know
say no.
until you try.
I mean, who?
I have a fear of rejection, so I would never ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
okay.
being rejected.
But
the only way around it is through it. So maybe I should ask him just to get rejected
no.
and to feel it and to go, ooh,
Really sit
I'm
with that.
still okay.
Right.
I'm still okay.
Right.
Hey,
Jonah, want to be in a reel with Brent Pella?
It's like, no, I got a movie with Brad Pitt to do.
Yeah, no, I'm winning an Oscar this
Yeah.
year.
I'm in the middle of something with Leo and Brad.
But
so
keep me in mind.
for the future episodes.
Best of luck in your future
Joe Rogan.
endeavors.
How many times have
Whoa.
you guys?
Here's the deal. Okay. All right. So
What about his reactions to fighting?
Oh, that's
Joe,
a funny one.
I
That should be
love
my
it.
next Rogan, is how Rogan reacts to
And
fighting.
he grabs oh my God, that was the.
Oh! Oh my God! Joe, they haven't started yet. I know, but look at his shorts!
That's brilliant.
Oh!
That's so good. He's
You know?
just getting Vaseline up.
Yeah.
Like they have.
Look at that Vaseline on his eyebrow! Oh my God!
That's so good. Do that.
That's funny, right?
I need to be in it somehow.
Do you want to be in it? You could be.
I'll be the fighter. I'll be Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that's great. Folk.
Oh, just on. Yeah. Oh, no, that's British. What's Irish?
He's
Yeah.
like, fucking A.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
No, I'll be one of the.
Put him down with
the
some
girl
whiskey.
that she won. She had a shaved head. She was so cute. I don't know her name.
Oh yeah, she was good.
She's
Yeah.
so adorable.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
remember
fact that.
that.
She was so vulnerable and like feminine.
She was a
but
really
then just
big
kicked this
underdog.
big-
Oh, she beat the fuck out of that chick, dude. Holy shit. She was sitting there doing they always do that thing at the end where they're pounding on the person's face.
And I go, I think they're good.
Yeah, that's what
think
I
they're
said.
good.
And I said that to my buddy. I was like, why? How come whenever a UFC fighter is winning, they just pound the person's fucking face with the outside of their hand? And my buddy was like, oh, well, you have to do that to
In
show the
case-
ref
Oh.
that this person
Yeah,
can't fight anymore.
that's true.
Because if you're coming
Just in case, because
with a
there's been
punch,
people that she could have, like maybe, who knows, could have got. You got to make sure they're down.
Yeah, make sure they're down. You got to beat that bitch down. But it's also one of these, a hammer fist, is less painful and powerful than an actual punch. Because a punch, you're putting your whole body into it.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that instead, they're really going to mess them up. So it's almost like a safety thing.
Yeah, that was
Which is
actually a
weird.
crazy fight night with the broken leg.
Ah, the broken leg, dude. Ooh.
They couldn't even show it. They kept it on the other guy because of it was really something. I was like, because even before that, the guy hit the back of the leg and, he wobbled, and I was like, what is happening
His leg
tonight?
had 3 angles to it. Oh my god.
They didn't even show Rogan's reaction to those two.
No.
Wonder what he did those. Why didn't they catch him?
He probably passed out. Probably fainted into a pile of alpha brain.
Or do you think you're gonna get into fighting once the comedy?
Yeah, I'll probably be a boxer by 2024. I'm gonna
You
get
heard
into
it here
boxing.
first.
No, what I want to do is challenge. Once I literally only want to be famous so that I can play in celebrity basketball games. It's the
Are you
only
good at basketball?
reason.
I could tell.
Yeah.
You've already mentioned first of all your shoes on the table.
Yeah.
With Kobe's camp.
Yep.
And
And
was he there?
Every year for every day. The camp ran for a week, 7 days. He was at the camp every single day, walking around to different stations, telling 5-year-old. Well, there were 7, but he was telling 7-year-olds like, no, that's not how you throw a bounce pass. Throw a bounce pass like this. And the 7-year-olds looking at him like, okay, and then he would go over to the 17. So we had kids 7 to 17. And
What do you mean we had kids? You were a coach?
Yeah. So I was a coach.
Oh, I thought you were a kid.
My kids were 11-ish. That was my group. I had a team of 12 every year, and they were all 11 years old. And then these coaches coach 7-year-olds. Every coach has his own team in a different group. And then there's the 17-year-old kids, which were the oldest, the high schoolers. And every time he walked around them, they would pick it up like fuck it, and they would go hard, and they would get lower on defense because they knew they could see him out of the corner of their eye. It was so cool to watch.
Wow.
Because when he's on one side of the gym and they're playing, they're going hard, but as soon as he walks over, you could it was something tangible in the air that you could feel these high schoolers going at each other harder. The passes would fly faster, the shots would go in more, the moves were more crisp and clean. It was awesome. It was magic. It was magic to be around. Yeah.
So you got to meet him a bunch?
Yeah. Yep.
What's the one thing that you remember him saying to you that changed everything?
There actually is that exact
You're
thing.
gonna have
that
Instagram.
happened. Yeah. He said, join TikTok early. And then he just walked away and he disappeared into 1,000 butterflies.
So what was the thing?
So every year, the first year I started, I was just doing silly, funny videos with friends. There's nothing really there. And year 2, 3, and 4, I was doing my open mic stuff. And then year 5 and 6, I was going hard. And year 6, or I guess it was year 5. It was 2016, 2017 was the last year the camp happened. And we all get autographs. Everybody gets one autograph every year. He sits down for the whole day and he signs 800 autographs.
Oh my God.
And I go up to him with my poster, that one right there, and he signs it. And I had told him previously that I was doing comedy, like previously in the week, that I live in LA, I do stand up, and he was like, "Oh, I got to come check you out sometime." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure. It'd be a fun date night," not thinking anything of it. And so when I saw him in the autograph line, he was like, "Yo, what's up, man? So tell me this, are you funny?" And it caught me off guard because I was still semi new to comedy. I wasn't used to being around celebrities,
And
even
you
though
weren't
I'd been
used
around
to
him.
having anyone ask you that, you didn't know that
Yeah.
Kobe was going to ask you
I didn't know
if
that
you were
Kobe
funny.
Bryant was going to ask me that, right? So I
You
said,
didn't prepare.
yeah. And I was like, "Well, do you like Kevin Hart?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I'm definitely not as funny as Kevin Hart, but I'm trying." And that was it was just a quick back and forth. And he chuckled a little bit. And I was like, "Fuck, I made Kobe chuckle." Yes.
Yeah.
And so then the end of the camp, at the last day of camp, he always gave the goodbye speech. And there's all the kids, 700 kids in the bleachers, fans and media and press and their family and parents are up in the top bleachers. There's like 2,000 people, and all the coaches are on the ground in the gym. And he's talking to everybody, and everybody's listening. He says goodbye, hands off the mic. Everybody's clapping. He starts walking towards the exit, and then he sees me to his left, and he pivots and starts walking towards me. And he comes up, and he's like, "So what's up, man? You got any information? We got to come check you out." And I had a business card on me, my first ever business card, which is like the worst business card.
Mine was
one side was clouds. You know, it was like one of those cheap ones that you just get made for free based on a template. Ugh. And so I gave it to him, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll do shows in Orange County. You know, bring Vanessa. It'll be a date night." And he's like, "All right, for sure. Keep in touch, man." And he walked off with my card in his pocket. Now, of course, he could have just been doing that for fun, like just to make me feel good. He could have thrown it out. But that's not really who he was. When he does stuff, he does it, right? And so that moment, that was the last camp that ever happened. In the years after that, the camp didn't happen, and because he was doing stuff with Nike, and he had his investment thing. And so every year, like literally from when I got back to LA the next day, that's when I amped up everything. Because I was like, if I'm going to be good enough to invite Kobe, I got to be like good. And so I worked my ass off every fucking time I was on stage. Every time I went to improv class or did a show, there was always this thing in the back of my head that said, I got to be good enough to invite Kobe to a show. I got to be good enough. Because if I invite this motherfucker to a show with his wife, it cannot be a waste of time. I cannot not do amazing in front of him. And so I finally got to this past New Year's, and one of my resolutions, I'd never really have resolutions, but it's the energy of New Year's is to have some. And so one of them was, okay, this is going to be 2020. I'm going to invite Kobe to a show. I'm going to do it. I felt like I was big enough to do like the Irvine Improv for a one-nighter when he lives in Orange County. And this was on January 1st. And then the crash happened a couple weeks after that. God. But it was that one, like my buddy calls it a lollipop moment.
Which means what? So
there's a TED Talk. There's a really great TED Talk about somebody was at an event and he was handing out lollipops for some charity thing, and he went up to a guy and said, "Hey man, do me a favor, give this lollipop to that girl over there. Just give this lollipop to that girl." Random people. He was just being friendly and silly. And the guy takes the lollipop and gives it to the girl, and then 10 years later, that guy gets a call, and on the phone, the other person is like, "Hey man, do you remember giving a lollipop to a guy at this event and you told him to give it to that girl? We've been married for 8 years." And it was, they call it, I'm probably not getting that story completely right, but it's a TED Talk, so definitely watch it. And so the lollipop moment is one small, seemingly meaningless moment to you that has a lifelong, meaningful impact on somebody else. And that's why any opportunity to create a lollipop moment you should take.
That's beautiful.
Always.
Yeah.
Because you never know how it's going to affect someone. And that's what I saw from him. I mean, he was doing that. He would look a 10-year-old in the eyes and have a solid conversation with them on the best way to do an entry pass to the baseline. That kid's going to remember that forever.
Yeah.
Just that one small moment of like eye-to-eye connection with the person that you look up to. So that was a lollipop moment for me. That was the moment that really kicked my ass into high gear and turned on my fucking afterburners to go harder than I ever had and work harder than I ever had to get better. And it's never really stopped since that day, you know?
Dang.
So
that's
I'm
really
really
intense
grateful for that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced a moment like that? Where somebody does something that might seem small from the outside, but is supremely impactful?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Something similar, but not quite. But for some reason, it came up when you were talking. I went to do a show with a couple girls that did improv. We went to iOS to perform. I didn't study there. I haven't performed there ever up until the show, and I haven't performed there since. And we go, and we're waiting backstage, and this comedy group comes off, and then Robin Williams comes off because he just jumped in their group.
Yeah.
And had he waited, he would have performed with us. But he came off stage, and I got to like grab him. This was 6 months before he passed. And I told him, I was like, I love you. Like, you're literally everything. And he was so sweet. And then he just said, that was so much fun. And I just saw that, like, it doesn't matter where you, like, go or where you've come from. It's like, if you really love the art, that you just want to do it. Like, he just wanted to be there and be present and, like, do his natural improv. And that moved me in a way that it was like, I don't know. I saw it from, like, a sign. I saw it as, like, it meant something specifically for me. I took it that way. It didn't have to be that way, but I thought, what are the chances? Like, you know, obviously cried like a baby when he passed. I'm sure everybody did.
Yep.
But it just showed me that, like, as long as I'm following what makes me feel really good and happy and contribute, like, it's never going to go away. Like, I'm never going to want to stop making videos. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'm going to do it for the rest of my life, regardless of what the results are.
Mm-hmm.
That came up for some reason when you were talking, but as far as, like, a Lollipop moment where someone says something that changes everything, I'm sure that's happened. I can't think of anything else that, like, pops up.
I mean, that right there, that gave you something that you'll live with forever.
I had an improv teacher say, she gave me an evaluation at Second City, and she said, "You're like a dented can." She said that privately to me, and I'm like,
like my body type, or
yeah, my body type, like, so not square. I crack open and pour tears. I'm like, what are you saying? She goes, "No, you stick out," and she's like, "In a line of none, you stick out," and that propelled me to keep going, I guess, to go, like, oh yeah, like, I have something here.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, little things that teachers have said to me over the years have helped. Then there's the things that teachers have said that has been really stifling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's like, if you would just try harder, you know, or you need to project. That's something that I used to hear a lot. This is now derailing, but I used to hear that all the time. Like, you really need to project. Like, you're very quiet and what you're saying is so funny. This was an improv class in high school. But I was just so afraid to be wrong, so I would quietly make my jokes. This is what my mom does. She's so funny under her breath. You had to really listen to it. So then a microphone came and it was fine, and everything was like, you can hear everything that I have to say, and I'm more confident with it. But I think everything that is said to us, especially if it's someone like Kobe Bryant or Robin Williams, we listen differently.
Yeah, and we embody it differently.
It's important that, and I've had these experiences with people that, you know, look up to me. I make sure to hopefully leave them better than when they came, because I think, you know, there's been people that have written that have been like, I left my toxic marriage of abusive husband because of you. And I'm like, okay, I hope this is a good thing.
Wow.
I hope I'm not tearing apart marriages. But if that's true, that it was horrific and you didn't find the strength to come out of it until you read my book, amazing.
Awesome.
Like, there's nothing better than that. Or that, I'm sure you got messages like that where I was like, I've been in despair. Your videos are what keep me going.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's why we
powerful.
have to keep going.
Yeah.
It's not about us and our, at least for me, like, when I make it too about me and the numbers and, like, my success, it's like so limiting. But when I think about people that are struggling or that need help or need to get out of themselves or just need that release, like, that's what propels me more to keep going and to keep creating content. I don't know if you relate to that.
I do.
Yeah.
I do, big time. Big time. I love that. That's a great place to wrap it up. Feels really good. You guys feel good?
You feel good?
Hope you feel good.
Hope you feel good. You need some faces?
She's got 52. I have 7.
7.
Where can people stalk you? Home address would be nice. Include your zip code. The house on Weddington.
Yeah, I moved. Sold it.
Nice.
If I would have waited 3 more months, I would have made an extra $100.
Woo! Damn.
But I messed up. I thought I was, you can't dwell on the past.
Get some Doge. Get some Doge, baby. At Manon Mathews on everything. The book is called...
So, at Manon Mathews with 1 T.
Weird,
I
but
know.
okay.
On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
My book is called Funny How It Works Out.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say Serious But Funny, which is my podcast.
I'll
have you on sometime.
Fun.
Anytime. Seriously.
Sure.
I think that's all I have.
Good. That's
And
enough.
I have an audiobook too, like for funny how it works out. Like if you're not like, oh, I don't want to read, you want to listen to my voice.
You want to listen to a book. I've never listened to an audiobook before.
Stop it.
Are they really that
What?
good? Really? Isn't it just a podcast? I love reading. I love reading.
Well, if you love reading, then you love
Yeah.
reading. I get distracted. So I take my books on the road or on the plane or on a walk, and it's really lovely. And then I just want to get to the information.
Do you retain the information as strongly if you listen to it versus reading it off
Better.
the page? Better.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
very auditory.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll try it.
No, I mean if you love reading and you can do it.
I do. I go through these periods where I'll read every night for a week, and then I won't read for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm off and on with it, so I gotta reel it in. Cool. We're out. Love you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
See ya. Thank you, and goodbye.
Tell the truth.
Don't lie. Okay. Bye-bye. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Thanks for hanging. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not done so already. We really appreciate getting more than 200 views on an episode. It's all good, baby. We chilling and vibing. You know what I mean? I'll have more guests on soon, and I'll rant more about dumb shit soon, and we'll all just kind of chill and vibe together. Shout out to our sponsor, Blue Blocks, blueblocks.com/Brent for 15% off, and Cognibiotics from Bioptimizers, cognibiotics.com/Brent for 10% off, plus a free book. And that's it, man. Live a happy life. Don't give in to limiting beliefs, and smile at somebody. Tell someone you love them, and drink more water. Okay. All right. Follow Manon Mathews. Support everything she does. She's a wonderful human and a gift to the earth, as are you. Have a good week. Bye-bye.